Imagine if someone wanted to adopt crypto but while still staying with Web2 technologies. Say there is a business that wants to experiment accepting payments in crypto coins, but they want it in such a way that those crypto coins be converted into the equivalent fiat currency before they receive it. But they want to allow their customers to pay in crypto. So you have crypto being converted to fiat on platform. Such a platform would be of immense use for making crypto coins mainstream and enabling many more people to own coins or transact in coins. CazzPay was born with this exact idea of becoming a platform to enable businesses to accept crypto from customers but receive that straight as fiat so that they don't have to go through the hassle of converting the coins themselves. So let's have a look at how the entire platform works. If you are a seller and you want to use CazzPay to accept crypto from your customers, you're going to have to show your customers a way to pay to you. Using this, you can generate your own QR code that you can directly give to your customers and they can scan it and they can pay you in crypto directly. You go ahead and print this QR code out, or you share it on social media platforms. You keep it anywhere you want. You just have to show this QR code. Then when your customers scan this QR code on their phone's browser, anywhere, they will come upon this payment page that we're going to show now. Once the customer comes upon this page, they can select the coin with which they want to make their payment. They can select the maximum slippage that they want to tolerate, and then they can just go ahead with the transaction, and CazzPay converts this amount of coins to the equivalent amount of fiat dollars or whatever currency that the seller chooses before transferring this amount of fiat to the seller, thereby completing the entire conversion process without any hassle. The way we are managing this is by utilizing the principles of an automated market maker. We are using Uniswap V2 in order to make pools that can then facilitate transactions between coins and fiat, but you cannot directly provide liquidity with fiat. So the idea we came up with was to launch our own stable coins that are pegged to the US dollar in a 1:1 ratio. And when the user buys this stable coin, which we name CZB, what happens is that they pay the equivalent amount of the CZB in dollars, and we use this amount of fiat in order to pay the seller. So when a transaction happens on CazzPay, it is actually a swap that happens. So the equivalent CZB becomes the equivalent fiat and the seller gets paid. Once some CZB is bought, the liquidity provider is then free to provide liquidity to any pool that they choose. You can provide liquidity, say for this test token TST and CZB, and once you provide this liquidity, like I said, this is used for facilitating transaction between the payer and the seller. So once you provide this liquidity, you come here and you see that the liquidity you added gets added to the Uniswap V2 pool. Likewise, you can also withdraw your liquidity. Any amount of liquidity that you possess can be withdrawn, and when you withdraw it, any amount of tokens that you would get in exchange for your liquidity gets deposited in your wallet like you would expect. Now for the database, we didn't actually use a centralized database, but the approach we came up with is just indexing events to store our data. So that makes up for not using a centralized source of data. Now you can walk through our source code on our GitHub. Our GitHub is github.com/captainwolf/CazzPay. You can come walk through our code and we'd be happy to explain more. Thanks for listening.